Good afternoon. Thank you very much for affording me this opportunity. I am here to update you on the situation of Mau. I know this is a subject that has been in public domain for the last few months or the last 1 year, because even if there was a lull, there was a break, this is an issue that has been in our conversation for almost the last 1 year, but everybody knows it's been here for decades. Today, I want just to update you on what's been happening and what's our position. I'm here in my capacity as a chair of a caucus of members of parliament who come from the Rift Valley, and of course in my individual capacity as the majority leader in the Senate. And a person also, I need to define my interest. And actually a son of a squatter, someone who has gone through what the people in Mau have been subjected to. First, I want to say that it should be known to the Republic that the Jubilee administration was founded on a foundation that was about bringing Kenyans together after the post-election violence of 2007-2008 and the evictions that became so emotive in both Embobut Forest, where I was one of the people evicted, and in Mau Forest. And President Uhuru Kenyatta and the Deputy President William Ruto had intense conversations that led to them coming together and forming a political coalition whose objective was to bring Kenyans together and solve problems that the people of Kenya were going through, including the Mau question. After these elections, last year, there was an attempt to evict people from Mau. I visited there, many leaders visited there, and I believe that that eviction was stopped because it was realized that it was a personal agenda of the cabinet secretary. Recently, you were told that there was a 60 days notice given for people to be evicted from their settlements in Mau Narok, which is actually a trust land. And we were also told that schools were not going to be opened by none other than a cabinet secretary and a regional commissioner. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you officially here that that is not the government position. That is not President Uhuru Kenyatta's position. That is not the government of Kenya position. That was a personal position of Keriako Tobiko and the RC Natembea. The truth is that the government of Kenya, led by President Uhuru Kenyatta, has not tabled in its own cabinet a decision on how to resettle the people in Narok South in the Mau Trust land. The truth also is that the cabinet has not made a decision on eviction of anybody, neither does the government of Kenya believe under the Jubilee administration that citizens should be evicted. The cabinet has not made a decision on banning of houses. And that, again, is not in the vocabulary of Jubilee administration, because a government that bans its citizens' houses is a government that wants to entrench violence. And that government does not exist in the Republic of Kenya under the leadership of President Uhuru Kenyatta. The truth is this: President Uhuru Kenyatta is an honest man, he's a person of integrity, he's a man who would like to lead this country into prosperity and unity and peace, and therefore he did not order Keriako Tobiko to carry out the purported evictions that he wanted to do, neither did he tell the RC to do so. So I want to tell the people of Kenya and the people who live in Narok South that ignore the purported 60 days orders, ignore the orders to block schools. There is no such orders. What Parliament should proceed to do is to summon CS Keriako Tobiko to tell the entire nation where he got the orders to purporting to evict people from Mau. Number two, I want to say that the government of Kenya knows what to do when they want to move people from their legitimate land. The Constitution and the laws provide for processes of compulsory acquisition. And when the time comes, for government of Kenya to have a conversation with its own citizens in Mau Narok. They will have that conversation, and that conversation will be mutual. And it will be agreed whether the people will move, where they will move to, and what will happen to their schools. Because, ladies and gentlemen, it is the government of Kenya under President Uhuru Kenyatta that built 15 schools in the areas in question. And therefore, any other conversation you hear people saying the government has not done this, the government has not done that, we as leaders, including myself, have called out Keriako Tobiko and Atembea for carrying out illegalities against the Constitution and against the position of the government of Kenya. In fact, I dare say that Keriako Tobiko should be called out for insubordinating the president and carrying out processes that are not been approved by the government of Kenya. And therefore, when we stand here and speak, I do not wish anyone to try to ask why is Murkomen contradict the government. Keriako Tobiko and Atembea are not the government. We are the government. And the government position is clear that there shall be no brutalities, no evictions, no burning of houses, no closing of schools, until a time that this government of Kenya will have a conversation with its own citizens on whether or not they should surrender their legitimate properties that they bought, whether they have allotment letters, whether they have title deeds, or whether they have nothing. It is the responsibility of the government of Kenya to make sure that their citizens are settled properly in the right place.